Indiana Pacers versus Boston Celtics. The Celtics were 3-2 this season against the Pacers. However, the Pacers beat the Celtics in a more meaningful game during the in-season tournament and even eliminating them. On the other hand, the Celtics actually beat the Pacers by 51 points in one game with a score of 155-104. This shows the Celtics can score among the all-time record holders while defending one of the greatest offenses of all time in terms of offensive rating. The Celtics haven't actually played against the Pacers since getting Siakam though, but also the Celtics have eliminated Siakam when he was the main guy on the Raptors in previous years. Siakam had struggled against the defense of Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Siakam is 3-5 in playoff games against Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I expect this hasn't changed, and Tatum has gotten even better since then, especially as a rebounder and a playmaker. For some reason, we all consistently doubt the Celtics despite how successful their core has been in the playoffs. Let's not forget Jason Tatum is only in his 7th season and 26 years old, but has already been to 5 conference finals. Halliburton is only 2 years younger than him, and this is his first conference finals. This is Jaylen Brown's 8th season and 6th conference finals appearance, and he's only 27 years old. This core is shaky, as news reports and trade rumors have been consistent over years, but their core has remained stable and largely successful. They've made significant changes around the core this year, bringing in Jrue, Porziņģis, and even Tillman, while losing Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, and Grant Williams. The Celtics team is better than their previous years. They reached the conference finals and even the NBA finals with. There's a habit of overreacting to their losses and downplaying their wins. Their game 1 was their first close game this playoffs. Every other game they've blown out their opponents, but also got blown out twice. The Celtics have had an easy run to the conference finals this year, beating a Heat team without Butler and then a Cavs team without Allen and even Donovan Mitchell later. But this is not the Celtics' fault, and they can only capitalize on it. Regardless of context, they've only played 10 games across the first 2 rounds. Comparatively, the Pacers have played 13 games across the first 2 rounds and ran against a much more physical Knicks team. The Celtics have had a lot more rest, while the Pacers really needed considering their fast-paced offense and up-tempo pace. I believe the Pacers can electrify on offense again and get hot winning a game, similar to the Heat and Cavs' playoffs. The Pacers are much more likely to have that kind of hot shooting game than those two, but I do believe the Celtics will handle business and give Porziņģis more time to rest ahead of the NBA Finals. The Pacers deserve a lot of credit for this run though, similar to the 2021 Hawks. The Celtics will likely not mess around, as they should have learned their lesson just last playoffs, specifically the Eastern Conference Finals, when they fell down 0-3 and ended up losing in Game 7 to the Heat. Similar to the Celtics getting blown out or blowing out opponents, their series history also has been like this. They swept the 2022 Nets and even swept some great teams before, like the 2020 76ers, but they go to Game 7s often as well, winning against the 76ers last playoffs and won, but then losing in a Game 7 against the Heat. En route to their finals appearance in 2022, they won 2 Game 7s as well, against the Bucks and then the Heat. You never know what to expect. Will the series end in a sweep or go long? Celtics have won in both scenarios, but have also lost in long series like last year's Eastern Conference Finals, so it really is hard to know how a series will go with them. But still, this variance is better than getting swept or getting eliminated in a gentleman's sweep. You could say the majority of the Celtics' dominance in recent years in the playoffs and their many conference finals appearances came down to their control of the game. They've improved the late game as Tatum has gotten older. The Celtics always seem to be in control in their blowout wins, and anytime they're down or blowing a lead, the shakiness comes from their lack of control. But this is actually a rarity for them. Most games they are in control and stay in control. That's how they got one of the highest point differentials by any team in NBA history over a season and got to 64 wins in the first place. Their Game 1 perseverance in this Pacers series showed they have playoff experience and capitalized on the Pacers' inexperience. If there was ever a game for the Pacers to steal, it was that Game 1. But I do believe they're capable of stealing and actually winning at least one game, even with the Celtics being more cautious about them now. All things considered, I predict the Celtics win in 5. If you liked the video, please remember to like and subscribe. If you like this prediction video, you can check out my previous prediction video where I actually had the Pacers upsetting the Knicks as well.